Ooh, you want to stay in or come out? You got to choose. Which way, Dino? Which way?
There's no river back here, Dad.
Yeah, where's the river? I want to swim the river. You don't get to swim the river. Only when we go to the river do you get to swim the river. Two little babies. Favorite philosophical rabbit hole? God, there's so many. I mean, free will. Free will is my favorite thing to discuss with people, because I find there's a lot of difference in opinion, like within the confines of it. So I typically like arguing against free will, because that is my belief. How was your 4th? It was dope. Yeah, it was fun. My first fireworks-free 4th, I think, in probably like ever. Maybe my whole life.
We had to pay the price of fireworks were banned because there was a wildfire that we had to drive past.
Yeah, we drove through 2 wildfires to get up where we were. They ended up closing the roads like behind us a few hours after we drove under them. So it was kind of nasty, but once we got, where we were going, oh my God, beautiful. Beautiful river, beautiful lakes, beautiful mountains. So, what are your thoughts on TJ's latest video? I gotta be honest with you, bro. I've been out and about. I've been gone for a couple of days, so I have not watched anything. But I will, I'll check it out. I always like to check out TJ's new stuff. Smoking in the trees. You know it. Have you ever looked into the argument that the studies that looked into the separation of the left and right brain proves that free will doesn't exist? No, I have not. That doesn't sound like an argument that I would be too equipped to make, I don't understand brain chemistry very, very well.
I don't know if anyone really does.
Well, there's certainly some people out there who know more than me. There are neuroscientists and neurosurgeons who know more about the structure and function of the brain than I do.
I feel like we still don't quite got it.
No, I don't think anybody's quite got it. But there are people closer that would be able to answer some of those questions for you, probably a little better than me. Am I okay? Yeah. Smoking weed, so you know how that goes. You know how weed is. It can make you cough. Is that brain science or rocket surgery? I don't know. I don't know, bud. What's the difference between no free will and God's plan?
Well, I mean, the whole point of Christianity is arguing for free will, because free will is what explains sin with a benevolent God.
Right. So here's where Christians run into a problem, right? They say that God gives you free will. But then God also says, I think it's in Jeremiah, he says, I knew thee before you were formed in your mother's womb. What God is saying there, in no uncertain terms, is that he knows what you're going to be before you are. And so Christians are constantly arguing for free will because God puts us here and then we get to choose right from wrong, right? But the problem with that is that it runs right up against the omniscience of God. God supposedly knows everything and is everywhere simultaneously. So he's omnipotent and he's omniscient. And if God is omniscient, God knows what you're going to choose. So you walk it back and you end up creating this situation where God made a person knowing that they were going to go to hell. So the only thing that Christians can use to decode that a little bit is to go, free will. Well, free will, bud. Free will.
Yeah, that's why a God can be both all-powerful and all-good, but evil can exist. It's because everyone's exercising their free will and fucking it all up.
Right. That, according to Christians.
Yeah.
I argue, as a non-Christian, that free will can't exist because there are too many deterministic factors that lead to the myriad of choices we have. Like, you might be able to choose between going to Yale and Harvard, but the fact that you were able to get into both of those schools had very little to do with you, and way more to do with how you were raised and who by. Right? Sounds like the Bible's constantly contradicting itself. Yeah, it does.
Just try reading Genesis alone and see how many contradictions you see.
Yeah. Genesis is it's a horror. It's so boring. It's the most boring book. Hate and hurt cause negativity. Or does negativity cause hate and hurt? Chicken or egg? I think there's total free will, but I don't think there's total absence of it either. Yeah, I mean, the problem with that is there can't be both. There can't be kind of, sort of free will. There either is or isn't, right? Either you have a choice in what your life is, or your life is an amalgam of a ton of things that happened to you and who you were raised by and where you were raised and what area of the world you were raised, etc. I tend to think that, right? It has to be one or the other. You know, I mean, I guess philosophically, you could talk about maybe what it would be in your mind to blend free will with determinism. But for me, those things run up against each other pretty quick.
Is that kind of how you stumbled on the free will argument, arguing with Christians?
Yes. Yeah. Because they started hitting me, because I would ask them, I would be like, well, why would God create somebody just to roast them? And they would say, well, that person roasted themselves. Well, how's that possible? God made them and knows everything, right? Well, yeah. I had a Christian once tell me that God chooses to avert his consciousness in order to preserve free will. So he can know what we are and what we will do, but he chooses not to. And then they would argue that that's part of omnipotence. He wouldn't be omnipotent if he couldn't turn his powers on and off at will, right? But yeah, that is how I stumbled onto the free will space because of the great debate stuff in the early 2000s on YouTube.
Paul's read all the books. Reading the book of Job again's not gonna answer his questions.
No, I know what happens in Job. God and the devil make a bet over a man. And the devil says, I bet you can't break that man. I bet I can break that man. I bet I can make him renounce you. And God says, no, you won't. And God lets the devil sling horrible, horrible, horrible afflictions on Job. Kills his whole family, makes him blind, makes him lame, and Job stays faithful, and he welcomes the affliction, and he welcomes God's choice to allow him to be a sounding board for the devil. It's a very insane story. Yeah, Job is not a good book. It doesn't make God look like a good guy. Yeah, if God loves you, why would he turn you over to the devil to prove a point? Why would he kill your whole family? Destroy your health, destroy your livelihood, and make you a pariah in your community to prove a point to the devil? Because he wanted to win a bet with the devil, of course. What's one man's life when you're talking about a bet with the devil? That doesn't seem like an omnibenevolent creator to me. It seems like an omnibenevolent creator would have been like, hey, get out of here. You're not going to get in my ear with that shit, and I'm definitely not letting you torture one of my children, so fuck off. Right? He doesn't say that, though. He doesn't say that at all. He says, bet. Past that, sharing is caring. So is chipping in. And last time I checked, you ain't chipped in on this. You know what I'm talking about? The good old days are over, man. The community weed pile. Because there's too many takers and not enough putters. You feel me? Back in the day, there used to be like kind of a community weed pile because everybody would add a little when they came over. Hey, I'm dry this time, but I'll add a little next time. Now you can't. Now you motherfuckers just steal. You just take. So the community weed days is over, man. You guys killed that shit. It wasn't my people that killed it. The old generation that killed that. My generation knew how to share and share alike. You know? One man's weed was everybody's weed because when that man was out of weed, they had some. You see how it worked? It's a community effort keeping everybody high. But now, yeah, now you got these scavengers, bro. You got these people that are just nose in the air looking for some bud. Ain't never got a buck to chip in on the bud, but they want to sit there and smoke a whole joint with you. Kind of sucks, bro. Yeah, reciprocal. That's not really how you spell it, but it's close enough. You can't trust everyone's bud nowadays. What?
Oh, all those rumors of people spiking the weed.
Bro, can I go ahead and tell you something? Because everybody knows some dumb shit. I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think that spiked weed exists because somebody told you they smoked spiked weed once? If yes, give me a thumbs up. Because I can almost guarantee that person was lying, and I'll tell you why. We'll get to it. I'm pretty sure anybody that has ever told the story, I was smoking with some guys and I got fucked up, the weed was laced. I would say with pretty good authority that about 99.9% of those claims are complete bullshit. Somebody just got Space Cadet high and thought their shit was laced. Because here's why. In the world of illegal drugs, this is the cheapest drug on the market. So if somebody were to lace this drug with LSD, they would be taking a super expensive drug and adding it to the cheapest drug. And why? So that somebody down the chain who they won't even see gets fucked up. No dealer in the history of dealers is taking their fucking expensive shit and sprinkling it all over their cheap shit. Weed isn't the cheapest drug? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You know why? Because you can grow it.
It requires way less effort than other drugs. Like maybe the manufacturing cost is similar.
Yeah, maybe it costs more to like have a big greenhouse and grow a big bunch of weed.
Yeah.
But we're talking about like getting a gram of cocaine into the United States. What did that take versus a pound of bud?
Yeah.
So cheap, expensive. You buy in pounds, you buy in grams. Yeah, one properly cared for plant in your backyard gets you 200 joints, basically. 200 1-gram joints of weed. Joint about that long. One plant. Well, you should tell them then, Daniel, you work at a cannabis place. Tell them nobody's spiking the weed. Tell them to stop spreading around the rumor that they had a cousin whose best friend's uncle's worst enemy's dog's owner got spiked weed one time. Correct them. Tell them why that makes no sense. B, what you doing? You want some weed? No? Roll one up for me. Being pregnant sucks. Boo. Why'd you go get pregnant? Boo, Zoe. Boo. Can't do anything fun when you're pregos. Can't smoke no weed. Can't drink no beers.
Yeah, I think probably most people that think their weed was spiked, they just weren't used to the new, stronger weed.
I mean, there are different strains of weed that if you don't have a bunch of tolerance for weed, they're gonna hit you different.
Yeah.
And so we used to call indica, certain strains of indica, creeper bud. Because you could sit and smoke a joint of it and feel like nothing was going on, and then 5-10 minutes later you're like, holy fuck, I'm high. Creeps on you. So that's what happens to people. They front load too much. They get space cadet high when it hits, and they think somebody put cocaine on it or some fucking retarded shit. And then they start running around and telling everybody, I got spiked weed. And then it goes mouth to mouth, and you end up with an urban legend. Do you think at some point we'll be able to walk around literally everywhere, roll up and smoke without a Karen crying or complaining? Bro, I would like to introduce you to a beautiful city on the West Coast called Los Angeles. That place exists already. You can light up anywhere you want in Los Angeles County, and as long as you're not literally blowing smoke in people's face on purpose, nobody's going to say shit. I have literally ripped joint after joint walking all over LA. And this was, I've done that since before shit was legal. Sorry, pal, but LA ain't anywhere. Bro, see, I'm not even gonna fuck on you because I'm feeling good today. I don't want to tear you down because wherever you're from is dog shit. You just fucked on LA, and LA probably buries whatever fuckhole you're from. So I don't even want to talk about it though, because I'm feeling nice. I'm feeling nice. But yeah, same goes for San Francisco. Same goes for Seattle. There's a lot of West Coast cities where you can spark wherever the fuck you want. As long as you're not like blowing it in toddlers' faces and shit, nobody's gonna say shit. 3 weeks ago, I was in Seattle for a concert. I got there like 2 hours before the concert. So I went on a walk with my wife around the neighborhood. We found a park bench. I sat next to a dude who was knotted out on Flocka, and I smoked 2 joints at a bus stop. Nobody fucking cares, bro. I'm feeling nice. Yeah, well, that's the thing, though. I didn't want to hurt him, but wherever this dude is from sucks worse than LA. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. People watch a lot of news, and there's a lot of salty news about California, LA in particular. But most of the people that think those things about LA have never been to LA. And when they actually go to LA, they go, oh, okay, yeah, this really is one of the greatest places on the planet. I see. It's not literally waist deep in homeless turds, like Fox News told me. Why would they care? Well, because they live in a shithole. Right? Oh, you guys, well, because you guys are down south, Jeremiah. You guys are way off down south. All these church people poking their fucking nose in your business. Is that weed you're smoking? Do you know it's illegal? Oh my God, bro. No, LA sucks. Okay, player. Where are you from? I'll do it to him. Where are you from? What's your hometown, homeboy? You got the Eye of Sauron on you right now, class. I've been everywhere. So you're not going to... I've been to your hometown, so hit me with it. Chico? I like Chico. Chico's beautiful. Hotlanta? Okay, I won't shit talk Hotlanta, but it's a little hot. Texas? Dude, I shit on Texas. Dude, the last time I stepped in a porta potty, I left a Texas in it. Lived there, done that. Shithole. Next. North Carolina, don't even start with me, bro. South Portland, Maine. Hey, dude, I tell you what, man. If you're a retiring peepaw, you might have something. If you're a retiring peepaw. If you're a grown-ass man looking to make something of himself, you trying to come to Cali. You better get to Cali, because ain't nobody ever going to see you in the flyovers, bro. Cali's a shithole. It's just where everything happens. Yeah, dude, he lives in Peepaw, Michigan. That's cool. You rep Virginia. I mean, look, I'm sure there's some beautiful country in Virginia. But guess what we got in Cali? All the beauty. The only thing that's retiring is that noise and hairline. Damn, son. That's messed up. You didn't have to do me that way, though. But I'm 45, and my hairline looks pretty fucking good for a 45-year-old, if I do say so's myself. Pretty sure that at 40, when 45 you reach, look as good you will not. Cali ain't shit on Carolina. Bro, Cali wouldn't shit on Carolina. Cali don't even notice Carolina exists, bro. Most people in Cali don't even know there's a state of Carolina.
One of these for a drive well done.
Oh, a twisted tea for a drive well done. Thank you, baby. Cheers. People get hella salty, though. And here's the thing, man. I'm not trying to be a dick. I really am not. 100% not trying to be a dick. I'm shooting straight. California is like a wonderland in comparison to most other states. And when states got something that's nice, right? They'd be like, oh, you need to go down to Skinny Dip Gorge or whatever. Skinny Dip Gorge, Wisconsin. You gotta change your mind. I go down to Skinny Dip Gorge, and we got 15 of them in California. I'm like, that's a thing around here? Shit, we don't even name ours. California has what you have better than what you have. That's just the truth. May not always be the truth. But for right now, you can rest easy knowing you live in a shithole compared to California.
I'd give you a little crossfade. You might like it.
Oh, you thought I might? You thought right. As always. Corona? Not bad. You know what, dude, I was born and raised in the shittiest part of California. And I'm a California supremacist. I was born and raised in the Central Valley of California. Fresno. Look it up, bro. The only worst place in California is Bakersfield, and Bakersfield just an hour and a half up the road. So you know I'm shooting straight because I came from a shithole in California. Okay? And it beats a lot of fucking big cities in other states. Oakland is really bad, bro. It's not pretty bad, it's really bad. Oakland has been bad for about 20 years, and it just gets worse. Because the tax base in Oakland is not growing. They're not fixing the inner cities up. And so there's a lot of fucking abandoned buildings, high crime. You know, it's real bad, man. Is Fresno really that bad in Cali? Yeah. I mean, you'd probably be better living in Fresno than Oakland. There's probably quite a few places in Cali that it would be worse to live in.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you consider like worse crime,
right?
Worse weather,
worse crime, worse weather, worse air quality. Right? Fresno ticks all those boxes. Super high crime rate, horrible weather. With basically 2 seasons. You got about 3 weeks of winter and then summer. And it tops out at 110 degrees. It never cools down. The air quality there is some of the worst on the continent, and in the running for some of the worst in the world. Just horrible particulate counts, horrible smoke, horrible everything. So yeah, Fresno is pretty bad, bro. Pretty bad. Not the last place I would move in California, but you know, the only reason that I have bounced back and forth to Fresno a few times is the devil you know.
Yeah, like if you know what areas of Fresno to go in to not fuck.
If you know Fresno, getting around Fresno and living in Fresno is way better than if you're moving from across the country and you visited Fresno once. You're going to get fucked. You're going to get fucked up. But if you've lived in the area your whole life, you know what parts of town are better, easier to traverse. You know where all the fucking shit is in town and how the best way to get there. And if you don't, you can find your way pretty easily, right? You know all the landmarks. You know where the big stuff that's worth doing is. You know where the shit around the town is, right? Shit outside of town. What's the best thing to go get out of town and go do? You know where that is, right? If you move there and you don't do that research, it's even worse, right? It's bad if you do know that stuff. It's bad but livable. If you don't, I wouldn't even recommend you go there. There's really no reason to even stop in Fresno other than to gas up on your way to Yosemite.
I think TJ described it best when like he got the weather report when he flew into Fresno. He's like, did I just arrive in hell?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, TJ was not impressed with my hometown until we got out to my house. Mm-hmm. When we got out to where I live, because I lived there, right? I know what part of town is nice and where there's nice places, and so we ended up getting a place in that part of town. So we were out in the country, and it was beautiful, and the weather was nicer, and he was, oh, okay, I see. And then we took him to Pismo, and he was like, oh, okay, I see, right? But yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. My hometown sucks. I would never say go visit Madera, ever, for any reason. There's no reason, unless you're gassing up on your way to Yosemite. Then go see Madera. You know, like pull off, go to the Flying J, fill up your tank and put it in your fucking rear view as quickly as possible, because it's a shithole. It's a shithole. It really is, man. It's bad for you to be there. Like literally bad for your lungs to breathe in that town. So just get the fuck out when you can. Don't spend any more time in it than you have to.
Like I think the pilot had told TJ something like, "Oh, it's 105 and smoky today."
Yeah, 105 and smoky. And TJ was like, "Are we landing in hell?" Are you a bad actor? No, I'm a terrible actor. I don't even rise to bad, bro. I'm a terrible actor. You like me a lot? Well, thanks, friend. I don't know you. And your name is Humphrey Dahmer. So I'm a little suspect on that. You might try to eat me. So I don't know about that. Asked a few times, have you ever gone to the Salton Sea? I've been through the Salton Sea when I was a kid. My parents were in a four-wheel drive club, and so we traveled all over California. And one of the trips was to the salt flats there to just tear ass, right? Um, but I don't have much experience. I know that Slab City is out in the Salton Sea, right? Kind of like a one of the only unincorporated citizen run township esque places. No cops, no law, no fire department, no nothing, no municipal services. But there it is, all the same. What?
I got updates for you.
Okay, hold on. Man, I wonder what's going on with that. I got an early Christmas present too. I'm not going to tell you guys what it was, because I'm still in the process of kind of like verifying it. But if you've been watching these streams, there was something I said was an eventuality that was going to happen sooner or later. And wouldn't you know it, 4th of July was the day. I wasn't expecting it so quickly, but we got it. We got it. We got it. That's all I can say. It was just good. Santa came early, I think. And you know how it happened? Exactly how I said. Exactly how I said it would. Yeah, super didn't take long. Amelia just looked, and they're censoring the shit out of one of the subreddits right now. There's a fuck ton of removed posts that have been up forever. It looks like they're going through and scrubbing shit, so I don't know what's going on. I think there might have been a schism. Because, man, yes, somebody just delivered me the goods. All the goods. This guy, and dude, he was straight up lying when he said he didn't tell a bunch of people where he worked and what he looks like. I've got pics.
The person that's not.
Yeah, of a person that is not Alchemist Soil. I'll tell you that much. When am I going to drop, though? I think I might sit on it like a fucking big old Easter egg. Oh, this is more than hot tea. This is scorching hot tea. Not only was it inevitable, like I even thought it was going to be like 6 months. I didn't think I was going to get it in a week. But I got every bit of it. So it's a beautiful thing. You know, Karma, there is a god. Her name is Karma, and she's a bitch. Yeah. Oh, I'm not digging up the soil. I will make a video at some point in the future, maybe, at my leisure, called Someone Who Is Not Alchemist Soil. Because what I did was I discovered a very interesting individual, a very interesting public individual that I would like to highlight. Somebody that is not Alchemist Soil. I would never do that. I assume this has been verified. I'm in the process, but it looks good. At first I thought,
now with the context.
Yeah, I've got context now, and so now it looks good. So I'm pretty much I'm like 85 to 90 on it, and you know, the person said that they were going to send me more stuff. So you know, it smells good. I'll tell you that. It smelled bad at first. My first reply was bait. But the person said no. He's just retarded. Here you go. Oh, I love that it happened so quick, too.
Yeah, there was some kind of implosion that happened over the weekend.
Something must have happened, yeah. I think all is not right in paradise over there.
Yeah.
Something happened, man. Somebody blew a gasket. Oh, dude. Well, I see. That was the thing, Jareth. I knew it was a matter of time because I've just dealt with these types of people before. They get bored as fuck, bro. Like, it gets hot in there, and like me debating the guy. That's gonna make it all hot and toasty in there for a couple months, and then it's gonna get real fucking boring. That was my thought, but it looks like some people are already fucking bored. Oh shit,
You
man.
know what? I think a star started shining too brightly.
Yeah. Icarus flew too close to the sun. Oh, so beautiful. Bro, I wish I was Macaulay Culkin. Be a rich fuck. Bro, I'll take Macaulay Culkin. I'll take that. Macaulay's a pimp. It don't get more pimpier than Macaulay. Does it ever get weird people caring so much about your dramas? Nah, I'm used to it now. I've been in the spin cycle for 10 years now, man. I live it. It is what it is. Would you be Will Wheaton? Nah, that guy's a dork. Shut up, Wesley. It'll happen in 6 months, 2 weeks later. I know, bro. It's fucking wild. Came to me just like I knew it would, too. Just a rando DM. It was so great. I love it, man. The internet is fun, bro. It really is. I don't want to reveal too much, but let's just say the pictures did not disappoint. Definitely looks like a dude that would hide his face and make fun of how another dude looks. I'm not a vain dude. I'm hotter than this guy by a country mile. By a fucking country mile, bro. I'm way better looking than this dude. I'm the last guy. So he's exactly what you thought. There's a reason why he didn't chat up and fucking cam up. And I won't give you those reasons, but there are numerous reasons why it didn't happen. And why he felt so fancy-free to talk about how old and crusty and wrinkly I look. Yikes. But I'm gonna sit on it like a big old fucking turkey egg, bro. Or maybe I won't. Maybe that shit'll hatch tomorrow. Sleep tight. He's stupid for fucking with your personal life. Yeah, no, seriously.
Well,
seriously. No, he is.
Karma came quick.
No, he is stupid. It was stupid of him to take the low road against a dude like me. Because, let me tell you something. You take the high road and I'll take the low road and I'll get to Dublin before ya. I'm an Irishman. You go low, I'll meet you. I'll meet you on the low road. I don't give a fuck, bro. You lost all ability to whine and cry the minute you thought it was appropriate to go through my wife's shit. So now guess what? I got your dumb ass locked and loaded, and I'm gonna sit on it, and I'm gonna lord it over your fucking head. And then one day, when you're maybe you think I've forgotten, you're gonna see it. So keep talking. Definitely keep up the persona. Because I want everybody to be able to append all the bullshit you talk to who you really are.
You think you're gonna need more than one, or you good?
What, a twisted tea?
Yeah.
No, I'm just swigging it.
Yeah. Okay, because these are the last two.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. I just thought one might be nice after food.
Yeah. Well, he looks like a real fucking creep too. So I'm thinking creep. No, I'm not sharing with anybody. You guys will know when I publish the video. Because here's the thing, man. I'm not like him. I'm not going to go gather up my little girlfriends and show everybody his shit. I'm going to expose him publicly like my wife was done. She woke up one day and found out her personal life had been blown all over the internet to get at me. And now the guy that did it, I've got his personal life. And I'm getting more of it by the second. And I'm going to sit on it until I'm ready to hatch it, because I want him to wake up every day wondering if today's the day that karma comes home. So yeah, no, you can't see it. I've got my dossier. And when I'm ready to make the someone who is not Alchemist Soil video, you bet your ass I will. With receipts. Because we provide those. Only receipt you won't get is my source. That's a protected name. As I promised, I'm a man of my word. If nothing else, a man of my word. Who revealed this will never be known unless they reveal it themselves. Their name is sacrosanct to me. Their status as a whistleblower, protected. I love how petty and righteous you are. Oh, yeah. See, I was raised... See, there's something about being raised where you have and then you have not. I think it makes you petty. Because I am a petty fuck. I will spend personal time on personal projects. I will. I am a petty fuck. But I'm not petty until somebody's petty with me. I'm never the first guy to go petty. They tried to compare what I did to Dorn Keene to what they did to my wife. Dorn Keene was a content creator for fucking years. Had her own channel. Cross-posted with Brett. She opened Brett's videos for how many fucking years? Hi, this is Dorn Keene. We are not the same. These are not the same two things.
You didn't go through her Facebook.
I never found Dorn's Facebook. I never dug through her bullshit. I literally took what somebody else had looked up out of public records and reported on that. And made fun of her, yeah. She was a content creator. She rolled around in the mud with Brett. Did videos with Brett. You're petty, he's a creepy stalker. Yeah, well, that's the difference. Yeah. He stalked the wrong motherfucker. Well, I mean, that's not even true. If he was smart and he just hadn't told all his little friends all his deets enough for me to find out more about him, fuck. You know, if he just kept his anonymity, not posted a picture, not posted his name, well, c'est la vie. It's all good, though. An elephant never forgets, you know. Come on. I'll stay in. Okay. Don't be wimping then. Don't be wimping. I'm not going to give any details whatsoever. None. I'll give them to him. If he wants to reach out and see what I got nothing to hide. It's not doxing. Exactly. It was posted on a publicly available Discord. All the information that I received was posted on a publicly available Discord. Link.
He himself said wouldn't be doxing.
Yep.
If you
He himself said it's not doxing for me to have this information and to release it. And so I plan to. Would you describe their face? No. Because you know what? Here's what I like about that. Here's why I won't do it. They know, and I know. Now's the time to kick up your feet and giggle about it. I was already doing that. This was just like a cherry on the sundae. Did you show Amelia? Of course. Of course I did. After all, she's the reason that it happened. Of course I showed her. Would you mind TLDRing this for moi? Dude doxed my wife to get at me. Found my wife's personal Reddit, went through it, found a bunch of fucking personal information, made fun of her for a bunch of normal person shit, and had her up all day one day deleting her whole fucking Reddit account so people would stop combing through it and shit, right? Just to get at me. Dude hides his face, doesn't show his face, talks shit about how I look, talks shit about how my wife looks. So he's a fucking turd. A dingleberry. And I have his ass. So there's the TLDR. Dude that doxed and humiliated my wife for no reason other than to get my goat is now about to be humiliated at my discretion because I have his picture, his place of work, and his name, and I'm working on getting some more. The picture alone, if I just posted the picture, it'd probably cause him to leave the internet. Because all that fucking shit he said about me, bro, you just imagine in your mind. It's worse. Guarantee, it's worse. It's worse than I thought. Well, anyway, I'm not going to say too much. I'm not going to say, but it's way worse. It's way worse than I thought. I didn't think it would be anywhere near as juicy, but it's juicy. Call his mom. Oh, God. Oh, God. I don't want to escalate. I want to de-escalate. I want to teach this motherfucker and anybody else that wants to dig around my fucking door a lesson. And you say it's worse than Spino? No offense, Spino. Yes. I would rather be Spino than this dude. I would fuck Spino before this dude. 100%. Not even joking.
Spino's gonna hear that, and Spino's gonna be up in your ear.
Hey. Not even joking. Worse. Spino's got one big thing that this dude just... You know what I mean? Oh, dude, Jareth, I would marry you before I blew Spino. No, you're hot compared to Spino, Jareth. You don't even understand, bro.
And then this dude is below Spino.
This dude is sub-Spino. Talking about Alki. A little bit. Just a little bit. Well, no, actually, we're talking about somebody who isn't Alki. No, Jareth is a good-looking guy. He's like spindly, right? But he's a good look.
It's kind of like grunge.
Yeah. He's got a grunge kind of look. Yeah. He's a spindly dude, but he's not a bad-looking guy. No, he's a good-looking dude. Yeah, he'd get it. I'd put it right in his booty. Not Spino. And not the man who is not Alki. Never him. Not a fucking chance. No, Jareth is a good-looking dude, bro. He ain't fucking like Tom Cruise or Keanu Reeves or something, but who is? Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves, right? No, Jareth's a good-looking guy. A solid fucking, what would you give him? 6? 6'5"?
I mean, I don't...
You don't like the number rate?
Oh, my scale is just not very similar to the average.
Oh, you've got a different scale.
Yeah.
What am I on your scale?
Well, you're my 10.
I hate to say it, baby. You're not my 10. You're my 11. Baba Booey. Dude, you will agree with me, Krista. On the day of reckoning, you will agree with me. You would choose Spino over this dude. 100% of the time. I can almost guarantee it. Almost guarantee it. I know I would. Spino all... And it's not even close. Spino all day. Spino at, like... You know that thing where they have the people walk in and they pop the balloon if they want to keep dating them or something? Have you ever seen those shorts?
No.
They'll have like a line of people with a balloon. Like a line of women with a balloon. And a dude will walk in. And it's like, how judgmental are you? Mm-hmm. So if a woman just looks at the dude and knows, like, I don't even care, a bunch of people will pop, right? I guarantee you, more people would pop immediately for this dude than Spino. Spino would have a couple balloons left in the line. This dude would be a full pop, guaranteed. Guaranteed, bro. And that's just the way it is. I will let you know if we are energetically aligned on the day of reckoning. Yeah, whenever that day comes. Should that day come, you will know. Just so goofy. I've been on TJ's server selfie channel. You guys have some hot ass fans. Oh yeah. Oh, you come to a meetup. I mean, there's all types at a meetup, bro. Yeah, for sure. That's why it's cool, because like I guarantee you, in fact, I know for a fact, somebody dipped their wick that came to the show with a undipped wick. They left the show with it. Well, not the show, but like they met somebody at the show, dipped their wick off of it. I know for a fact. And that's just one that I know. So I guarantee you at least, like every time we have one of these, I'd say 5 or 6 wicks are dipped. Easily. You know what I mean? It's a good, because you got like-minded people, you go out, you party, fucking, that's how it happens, bro. I'm not guaranteeing it. You know, you're not guaranteed anything in life, but I'm just saying, it would not shock me if we broke it down, if we could have stats on such things, that on an average, 3, 4, 5 wicks are dipped every meetup. That's just how it happens. That's how human beings dip wick. I've been on TJ's server selfie channel. Oh yeah, sorry. I thought my shit stopped moving. The chat no go nowhere. You guys have banned everybody. That's cool. I like it. Yeah, an average of 3.5 wick dips. Yeah, I'd stand on that business. And it may be higher. Who the fuck knows, man? Who the fuck knows? But no, I'm excited that we're doing the we're doing this meetup. I'm super stoked. I love doing these meetups. It's always an energizing thing to get with your fans, see them face to face. I mean, it's a real meaningful thing for me because it can all start to feel very fake. The internet is a weird thing. You don't get that direct feedback, you know what I mean? You get that kind of filtered through the chat and these kind of nonverbal feedback loops, and it's so nice to just like meet people who are into what you do, you know. And yeah, this is our first legit East Coast meetup. Closest we've done is Columbus, which is pretty close to the East Coast. But no, this is our legit East Coast, Clifton, New Jersey, November 1st at Dingbats. It's going to be fucking crazy. The God Bombs absolutely fucking shredded the stage for us. We were actually blown away. We'd listened to the God Bombs, and their album sounds good, but they have so much fucking amazing energy as a live band that they were just perfect for us. So we had to get the God Bombs back, so they're back. And then, you know, our normal stage show, and then we come down off the fucking thing. I saw some people in the chat that were kind of discouraged about the fact that VIP sold out. That's what happens. But don't worry about it. Like
It's just an extra hour.
Yeah, VIP, everybody gets in an hour early. They get a little bit smaller group, you know, so they can take pictures with us a little easier maybe than you will.
But still go around and get
you're gonna have more than enough time. So it's just a little perk that we do for people. Give them a little something extra. They're gonna get a little piece of free merch this time around, and that'll be that, right? So don't worry about it. Buy the regular ticket. What will happen if you get the regular ticket is you'll come in when they open the doors to general admission. You'll get your seat, right? And the show will start, and you'll watch the God Bombs blow it up, and then you'll watch us do our thing, right? Whatever we end up doing this time. You never can tell what we're going to do. And then instead of thank you and good night, right? We say thank you and meet you out in the fucking... We'll be out there in a minute. Just let us go fucking
At the
take a
Vegas
piss.
one, you had the circle.
Yeah.
Went out for a smoke, and then everyone else found their way to us.
Right. Yeah. We tell them, like, hey, we're gonna go like wipe our sweaty asses off and take a piss, and then we're gonna come chill with you guys, and we'll sign your shit. We're thinking this time about well, no, that I won't say that because we're not thinking about doing it this time. That's something that we were thinking about doing in a future one or trying. But we're gonna have merch there as well for purchase. We should have a meetup exclusive T-shirt, poster, and we're hoping to do it so that you can buy those things and then redeem them as you leave, so you don't have to carry them around all night. Because that's been a big complaint people have had. They buy merch, and then they've got the T-shirt and the bag and the fucking thing, right? And they don't have anywhere to put it, and they're afraid they're going to set it down and lose it. So we're hoping to set it up to where, like, you know, people can buy the merch from us and then pick it up at the end of the night. Or maybe we just don't sell merch until a certain hour.
However it works out.
We'll figure it out. As long as VIP doesn't drink all the booze. Oh, my God. They better not. Well, I guess if they do, we're happy because we sold the bar out. But they better not. No, they won't. This is a big bar. This is actually kind of a famous bar. Dingbats in Clifton is a pretty kind of like famous local metal venue. So it's gonna be tits. A few months back, you mentioned bots flooding your chat, saying stuff like beard and man. Have you noticed any experience? You know, like, I got to be honest with you. Thank you, by the way, for donating. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. Yeah, dude. If you'll notice, like, if you've been hanging around for a while, my mods are pretty fucking on point here. And so, like, a long time ago, I kind of unleashed them on that bot shit. Because I can't stand to see it, bro. It kind of fucking creeps me out. And so I don't let it float in my shit. My chats are pretty heavily policed just for that type of brain dead shit. It's either bot or bot behavior type stuff. Yeah, and so my mods are not going to let that fucking sit in the chat for very long. So I haven't noticed as much. But I bet if I told them, like, hey, dude, pause, nobody ban anybody this stream, I bet it'd be full. Yeah, no, it bugs me out, bro. It actually makes me feel gross to know that there's some inorganic, you know, because it's just it's like fakery in a thing that I don't do any fakery, man. You know, it definitely ruins the vibe. Like, I'd much rather some dumbass come in and get banned or argue with me than just a fucking straight out bot, bro. It's wild and it's creepy and it's gross and I don't like it. Yeah, no, I mean, a bug. Yeah, I'm with you, bud. I'm bugged out as well. Not gonna lie, it fucking freaks me out to an extreme. Yeah, I mean, the day I started talking about it, right? And it was the day after I went on DP and did the same thing. I talked about it on DP. Bots flooded the chat. Talked about Aegon Chalakian. Bots flooded the chat. The next day on my stream, not even connected to DP, right? I'm doing my own vertical stream like this. I start talking about what happened on DP. It happens on this. I get bot bombed. Tens or thousands of bots. I mean, the highest numbers I've ever done. I think it was up over 6,000 live viewers at one point, which is obscene. None of them real. And it fluctuated back, forth. It would go down a little and then blah, blah, blah. And it was just, the chat was unmanageable. I actually told my mods to stop because I just wanted to see what the proportions were. And it was no real people. It was literally tens of thousands. You can go find it. I don't know what the sad thing about the way that I name and categorize streams is. It's hard to find them. But you start looking for it and you'll find it. And it's a pretty creepy stream. Got up to like 8K. Dude, that's like top level streamer numbers on this platform. Why the fuck would I ever touch that? Most of them had Southeast Asian or Indonesian names. Yeah, there were a lot of Vietnamese and Filipino names. So probably a bot farm in that region of the world or whatever. I don't know how the fuck to quantify it, bro. I don't know. It's like a black box. Who knows? Oh yeah. You could look at the DP appearance and then find the stream of mine that's on the day after that, because it literally was the day after that. There isn't a live chat replay anymore. Really? I thought there still was. Are you talking about just here or in general? Did they get rid of it? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a creepy subject, though. I gotta be honest with you. I don't like the bot shit. I don't like how other people, like when I went on Destiny, it creeped me out even more. When I asked Destiny about it, and he was like, I don't know what you want me to say about it, dude. I don't like talking. He's like, he clearly did not want to talk about it. He was like super dismissive. That made me scared even more. Because I was like, this dude knows some shit. And he doesn't want to dig any deeper because he doesn't want to know more. And that fucking freaks me out. Oh no, I didn't turn it off on purpose. You should have the ability to turn that on and off, and if you don't, then I'll go look at it, because yeah, I didn't turn it off on purpose. There's a highlight of it. I think you can find it on one of his highlight channels. It's like Destiny Orbiter scared of Egon Chalakian or whatever. And I'll be in the thumbnail of it. You can watch me kind of freak out. And he was very dismissive of it. He was like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't know what you want me to fucking say, dude. I don't fucking know. I was like, well, shit. I don't know what I want you to say either, bro. Like, I don't know either. I'm not trying to fucking start a narrative. I'm just asking a question. Like, under what scenarios? I don't know, dude. I don't fucking know. Like, okay, all right. It's in one of the highlight videos, though. Yeah, if you type in Paul's Ego Destiny, that and a number of other videos will show up. Lefty. Oh, okay, Lefty. Lefty scared of Aegon Chalakian. Yeah, something like that. You'll find it. It's funny. I don't know. Maybe he found some shit, bro. Maybe he discovered, because you know what else he was insistent on? Aegon Chalakian's he's a real guy. I was like, no, he is not. He is not a real person. I've seen the fucking fake pictures. I've seen the fucking AI generated bullshit. He's not real. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he is. It's like, he backed off of it. That spooked me. Because, that seemed like content fodder for him. He could have fucking dove into that shit and talked a little bit about it. But he was not interested in talking about it at all. Yeah, he might have got a dagger in his door, dude. He might have gotten the fucking velvet letter. What sits behind the eyes and psychology of Paul? Is it being awareness itself? Nothing. A meat. My psychology is me, right? And it has a profound effect on not only how I see the world, but how I think the world sees me, right? To an extent. So there's nothing else more important to knowing me than knowing my psychology. And if you've watched me for a long time, or even for really a short time, you probably know quite a bit about me, or you can make some inferences about me. Although a lot of people make inferences in such the opposite direction of me, So it's hard. Being a Z-list internet person is not easy. People are shitty. People will do shitty things, and nothing's off the chopping block. I see you. Yeah, I gotta hit up Benjamin. It's been a while, so I'll do a little DP appearance. Catch up on the DP world and see what's what. Dios mío, man. Oh. Yeah. I'm watching Nip Tuck. I'm on season 4 of Nip Tuck. What a wild fucking show. I'm surprised I'd never watched it, but I think I was kind of chased away by the subject matter. It's marketed like a soap opera, because it is, but I didn't know it was like... I didn't know who Ryan Murphy was at that point, I guess. You said a couple of streams ago that you have an answer to everything. What was in the Pulp Fiction box? Bro, it's a lame answer, but I know the truth, okay? Marcellus Wallace has a Band-Aid on the back of his neck. Because that is... that's like the center of your not your sacrum, but it's your crown chakra. So he has right here in the back of his neck, Marcellus Wallace has 2 Band-Aids that are crossed in an X. An X marks the spot. So that is, right, that is Tarantino saying that this man has a wound to the very essence of himself from a dharmic perspective, right? He has a dagger. Somebody has sucked something out of him, taken something from him, from his crown chakra, right? And so inside the briefcase is Marcellus Wallace's essence, his soul. I don't think the term soul applies in a dharmic sense. His karmic debt, right? Oh, sorry, baby. I didn't mean to kick you, but I won't play footsie with you.
Guess where I saw Cricket? In his carrier.
Wouldn't you know it? On the road all day.
Locked in there all day.
In the carrier. Get home, get released. You're free. You're finally like and you got way more space than you did in a hotel room. Right to the carrier. That's a cat. He's a cat.
So would you say the frustration quotient on the way back was like a couple points lower?
Yeah, for sure. Where did you go? I'd rather not say.
You went somewhere pretty.
I went somewhere beautiful. Beautiful and, was within driving distance, but kind of a fucked up drive on the way there, and kind of a nice drive on the way back for the most part, to be honest. So... no, you gotta have some secret places, man. This world would be a fucked up thing if you, had no secret places at all.
Well, maybe a few too many people know about that place because it was pretty crowded.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't want to tell anybody else.
Yeah. It doesn't need no more people.
It's got enough tourism as it is. Yeah, Christian died. Amelia told me over the 4th. Such a fucking great actor and such a great portrayal. As much as I like to hate on that show, I'm so invested in those stupid fucking characters and their dumbass fucking self-obsessed, narcissistic fucking lives. It's just such a brilliant show that it's just sad to me. A really smart guy and just a good-looking cat and just a really great actor and cancer, of course.
We might try to find the last movie he did with Nicolas Cage or something.
Yep. I generally find myself perplexed by what TV series people are willing to watch. Television seems mostly insipid or mediocre. What exactly anyone ever enjoyed the Brady Bunch is a mystery to me. I used to watch the Brady Bunch when I was a kid. I think the Brady Bunch was like a family thing. Made a lot for kids. Because most of the stuff that went on in the Brady Bunch was kid stuff. Like, it was like, Ma and Pa Brady and the nursemaid Alice kind of being the parents overseeing this crazy drama going on with Jan and, her brothers or whatever the fuck it is, right?
Well, I think a lot of shows too. I think we're not alone in laughing at shows. I think a lot of people laugh at shows.
Yeah. When people ask me questions like that, I always think of Mr. Rogers, because Mr. Rogers gave that very impassioned speech on the Senate floor that ended up getting funding preserved for PBS. And he talked about how concerned he was about the amount of violence that was in front of kids. And I find myself concerned about that same thing. Right? He said, it's very easy to make a show where you bop somebody over the head or you pull out a gun and shoot at somebody. It's very hard to make a show that engages kids where they need to be engaged on things that are on their level. Like what about the inner drama of having a big brother that picks on you, or the inner drama of, the average family trip, or the inner drama of being nervous about school. There's no room for that in any kind of children's programming, right? And I feel kind of the same way about I mean, that informs how I think about this broader topic. I feel like there's a lot of vampiric smut out there that isn't feeding anybody, but I think it hurts kids the most, right? Like, that's I don't know. I'm not trying to be alarmist about it, but all of the numbers that came back about kids and their exposure to TV and their exposure to more adult themes at early ages, none of those studies came back with positive indicators, right? So I got to think that that's doubled or tripled or quadrupled or even more now with the wide availability of this shit. But yeah, that's to bring it back to the Brady Bunch. I think that as a kid, I liked watching the Brady Bunch because it was a place where family problems were solved without yelling, screaming, spanking, cussing, drinking, and everybody was okay at the end of it. And it felt good to see that wrap up in a little bow. Oh no, Jan's braces look ugly. Oh no, nobody cares and Jan's fine and she ends up liking her braces. Yay! That's what it's about. And maybe there's no space for that kind of just good-natured shit. You know what I mean? Like shit with like a little family-style heart or whatever. Maybe there's really no venue for that anymore, and maybe that's kind of sad. Like, I don't know, though. I don't have kids, so I don't know what they're into. I don't know what they're watching. Maybe there is something that's like that for them, but...
Well, we don't watch much TV either, so we're kind of out of the loop on what the big, like, we were sitting in the hotel and we're like, what the fuck is this show that they say is a big hit? It was like Resident Alien or something that was on. They're like,
yeah,
TV's next big hit. And we're like, what's the big hit now?
Yeah. It's always a wacky world when you're in the hotel.
Yeah.
Because you go back to like 2003 and see what's up in the cable box. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on in the cable box, bro? And it's nothing good, man. It's a lot of infomercials.
Although we did end up watching that Sydney Sweeney fucking Law and Order SVU episode.
That's true. Which, those are always wild. SVU.
It's fucking crazy that...
Well, does
Mariska Hargitay has been playing Olivia Benson for like 25 years, and Ice-T has been playing his character for 24 years.
Yeah, he's right on her heels, but like, is she now the longest?
For prime time.
Longest prime time, so longer than, what was that lady's name? I know she retired years and years ago, but she was like from the 70s all the way through the 2000s. She was a soap opera star.
Well, soap opera's not prime time.
Oh.
She's the longest standing prime time.
Okay, so they're probably beaten by... Soaps
would be... There'd be a lot of soaps that would beat her.
Yeah, for sure.
But like in terms of a prime time show,
so I get it.
Major network and yada yada yada.
That makes sense then. Yeah, that makes sense. Because there was a lady, I cannot remember her name, but there was a lady that literally, like, my whole childhood and into my adulthood, and then into, like, I was married by the time she retired.
Yeah.
And she was out before I was born by 10 years. So just an insanely long, continual career playing one character in one show. That's crazy. When did DVR come out?
I'd have to
2010.
Yeah, like at least around then.
That's what I would guess. It might have been 2 years before or after that.
I think TiVo was the first DVR.
That was the first big one.
Yeah.
But there were these things you could get for your computer, or you could hook them to your TV called HD PVRs that were before that, where you could record directly from your cable box. Mm-hmm. So people were doing it, but then they created.
As soon as they created the integrated VCR, people were taping shows.
Of course,
stuff.
yeah. So it was that.
But like the DVR added the function of being able to fast forward through the commercials.
Yeah.
And to like set up recording.
Yeah.
So you don't have to remember later.
Your PVR could do that too. But yeah, no, it was hard to get into. You had to buy it, set it up, blah, blah, blah. This one was just you sign up for the thing. They send you a thing that you put on top of your cable box. And it's off to the races.
And then on demand. And then every fucking network got a streaming service.
Yeah, well, it just died. Everybody thought TiVo was the next big thing.
Yeah.
Because they were stupidly kind of thinking that television was going to remain the main delivery medium. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, 2-3 years after the DVRs became popular that Netflix started streaming. Mm-hmm. So in like 2012, I think is when that started.
I do remember when Netflix was still DVD only. I
remember
the transition.
Dude, I had a Netflix account for years. Like, I think I had it for 8 or 9 years of just getting DVDs from them before they started streaming, and then it just made no sense. And it made no sense for anybody. And then, like, physical media fell off. TiVo disappeared as a fucking market.
Yeah. And then, like, when the smart TVs came out, people weren't getting TVs that were even capable of taking physical media anymore.
Yeah.
And then a lot of computers stopped having disk drives, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just disappeared. And, in some ways for the good and in some ways for the bad, you don't really own a video game anymore. Unless you buy it as a physical copy. If you download a video game, you don't own that video game. Whoever sold you that video game reserves the right to revoke your account at any point. So...
And these movies, they'll bounce from service to service.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just fucking retarded. So we're at a really bad point right now, I think, in terms of, like, we've got this new technology that really should create a utopian kind of all-access pass to all of the artistic output of humanity in its past, right? And what we've got is porn and advertising and a bunch of competing micro content curators that we have to pay every month if we want to see any movie we want. And even then, you'd be hard pressed if you wanted to see, like, I'm not talking about super obscure, but just a movie that wasn't that big or kind of old. Bro, you're going to have to, you have to go sign up for a whole thing for a month just to watch one movie. And hope that thing is cool enough to keep.
Yeah, like we wanted to find a certain series, and we signed up for Netflix, and then as soon as we signed up for Netflix, it said, going away June 30th.
Yeah, it's like, what? And who knows where it's going to land. So it's just like, it's stupid. I hate it. I hate the way it's set up. And it's a bad time right now. But I do think that there is an argument for allowing the robber barons to consolidate the market even more. Let these companies eat each other. Let Netflix eat CBS. Let these giant companies eat each other, because then they bring more of that shit under their umbrella, and we get closer, at least as consumers, to having access to the archival history of film. That doesn't speak much for how much film quality we'll get if there's just a big monoculture at that point. But at the very least, we'll get a preserved archive of that stuff. It'll be all under one umbrella for one price, and that's worth it to me, right? Let's do it, right? If you're gonna conglomerate, then get to conglomerating these stupid 19 fucking billion different streaming services, because I hate that shit, bro. I hate knowing. Here's I'm gonna fuck you up. Listen, you live at a time right now where this could be possible. You pick up your phone and you go like, show me Glengarry Glen Ross and give me Beethoven's Sixth Symphony at 10% behind it. Boop, 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 boop. Glengarry Glen Ross. Beethoven's Sixth. That's totally possible now. The only thing in between that and you, it's a bunch of money grubbing people, most of which had nothing to do with making the shit that you want to get access to. Don't you love it?
No, there's just all these crusty old contracts that
Yeah.
they keep selling around.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. What if the one company revokes your access to all of humanity's games and then you become a pirate? Then you jack into the network. You hack the firewall. I watched Hackers, bro. You hack the firewall, bro. You phone freak the firewall. I know how it's done, bro. No, I don't know, man. Yep. Time to get BitTorrent, I guess. Oops. Bust up in the mainframe. Yeah, dude. Yup. You bust the mainframe down, bro. You get all the hackers to flood the mainframe with so many requests that it's overloaded, and it gives one hacker the chance to sneak through the fucking defenses because it's so overwhelmed and find the secret trash file that has all the documents that prove how evil everybody is, right? You got me? All the Epstein shit, the Trump's PP tapes in there, you know that's part of the Epstein shit. Probably he probably set that whole shit up. The PP tape is in there, right? The Pelosi Hillary Clinton tape that has been rumored for a long time. Many people are saying they've seen the clams schmack. That'll be dropped. You see what I'm saying? You get, all you have to do is hack the mainframe. You feel me? You have to be elite. You can't be on a normal PS7 fucking 1A. Okay, that's baby shit. You've got to be on the brand new 365 color LCD display, monster 1 megabyte drive of RAM. And you've got to hack into the phone systems and overload the mainframe with false requests. Yeah, whoever, well, because there's one dude, there's only one dude. And when he gets in, this is how you tell the people that are around you, right? You go, and they're all like, they're around you, right? They're like, come on, man. You're like, I'm in. That's how it goes right there. Anonymous super incognito mode type shit. Yep. Sweat dripping. Fingers are flying. Fucking numbers are floating off of the screen, and you know what I mean? You fucking, whoa, you're going into the hack spiral. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, bro. If you're elite, you know what I'm talking about. Going into the deep web, bro. You have to circumvent the mainframe. You have to hack the ice. Circumvent the mainframe. That's what I'm talking about. You got to circumvent the fucking mainframe, bro. Hella digits and symbols and all that crazy shit that you have to press like Alt to get all that crazy symbology. You got to throw that in your hacking because that means it's encrypted. You wouldn't know this as a fucking total normie or whatever, but I'm telling you that what you got to do is you got to hold down Alt and you got to press every key. You got to do the Alt F keys and then you got to press every key because you can get all those crazy symbols, the crazy symbologies. That's how you hack the mainframe. And you don't even know how to do that shit, bro. Alt F4 to hack, bro. Yeah, if you're just using ones and zeros, that's kiddie shit. That's script kiddie shit. If you want to be an elite hacker, you have to use the symbologies. You've got to be able to send it. You go into Mongolian mode and you use a few Mongolian characters up in that bitch. Why? Because it helps to hack the mainframe. The mainframe is confused. It goes, wait, I thought this guy was American. Now he's in Mongolia? Wait a minute. Let me check that. And while you're doing that, somebody sneaks in, grabs the file, and sneaks out. They're going to shut this stream down. They're not going to let me they're not going to let me tell these types of secrets, but you know what? The people need to know. Yeah, people need to know, man. Dun 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 dun. Dude, there's actually a really funny thing that you can do. I don't know if you ever fucked with it. It's called Hacker Typer. Have you ever seen it? Go look for it on Google. It's just like a prompt, and every key you push puts that kind of like hacker gibberish up. Alt dot command 00. You know, so you can just pound it, and it like breaks it up and makes it look like you're typing hacker shit. It's kind of fun to fuck with people sometimes. I used to use it with teachers when I worked at the school district. I'd go like, oh yeah, let me fix it for you real quick. And I'd go, she'd be like, and I'd go, okay, fine. That was tough. And then she'd go like, what did you do? And I'd go, nothing. That's just a joke. Here, I'll plug it in. There you go. I'm just trying to make my job look harder than it is. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just called Hacker Typer. It was up the last time I fucked with it, but that was a couple years ago. Maybe it's not.
And a couple of years for Paul's ego could be a very large range of time.
Yeah, that could be 10 years ago. It all, dude, time stretches. It's a flat circle.
What was your worst couple of years ago that you realized was like 20 years ago or something?
What?
Like where he's like, oh, that happened recently, and it was like 20 years ago or something.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. You catch me in them more than I catch. What was the worst one that you remember me doing?
Well, you had invented a whole memory of us doing something together, but it was something that was years before we met, about going to some restaurant.
When was that?
So you had talked about going to like, I think like a samosa restaurant or something with the guys, and you thought I was there, and I wasn't.
Bro. You know what, dude? Time really means nothing to me. I wish it did. But I do live kind of atemporally. 2020 was 5 years ago. Shh. I don't hear that because it can't be true.
Well, I think it still exists. There's your Hacker Typer.
Try it. It's kind of fun. So just type anything.
Yeah.
You see how it just turns it into... Here, I'll show them.
Yeah.
Can I show them? Here, look. You just type whatever, and it turns it into, like, fucking script kiddie code looking shit. Just whatever, just like, oh, God, I'm fucking getting into the mainframe. I just see what's going on here. Oh, God. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you gotta tap it. See, it wants you to, like, just jam on it like you're typing as fast as you can, and it gives you these lines. Oh, gibberish. Dude, if you ever want to fuck with a family member, that's a fun one. Like somebody that's not real computer savvy, you can get them. You can get them with that. Yeah, the hacker typer. Hey, dude, I put you on it. It is funny, right? You could use it, dude. I'm telling you, you want to prank your moms or your peepaw or your meemaw or something, or you got a cousin that lives on a farm or something. You could get people with it. Now that was my favorite little trick. I showed it to my boss, and my boss almost died laughing. He was like, "That's perfect." He was like, "You should tell everybody about at the meeting. That's funny." It was just a way to make the teachers laugh, build a little personal rapport. You know what I mean? I would always tell them. I'd be like, "Yeah, you know, it's this thing," and I would say, "Hey, you can freak your kids out with it. If you project this, they'll think you're hacking." All the teachers thought it was funny. Nobody got butthurt about it. Or let me put it this way: I knew which teachers to do it to and which ones would get butthurt. So I did it to the ones that had a sense of humor, and the ones that I had marked as people that had no sense of humor, I just was very professional with those people. You gotta adapt.
There's all these little, like, fucking rip-offs of Hacker Typer.
Yeah, but Hacker Typer's the real, because it's green. It's got the matrix green on black.
Yeah.
It's the real deal. Don't get caught in the other one. Do Hacker Typer, because it's free and super simple. No account. You just pull it up. I'm not, dude. They should pay me. They're probably gonna get a flood of traffic today. Nobody knows about the Hacker Typer, bro. It's the real deal. If you need something for a movie too,
yeah,
like just pull it up and fucking have the dude pounding away. It looks like fucking whack ass movie code. Did you work for the school in the early DP days, or was that years before? It wasn't years before, but well, yeah. I guess early DP, when I first came on as a guest of DP. The reason why I could only come on later in the day was because I worked a 9 to 5. Well, more like a 9 to 6 at that point. So yeah, I was still working at the school district when I first started appearing there. And then I quit that, not for DP. I quit that job to go back to school. And then my marriage fell apart. Then I moved away to Texas, and then I joined DP as like an actual employee. So that's the line on that.
Did you ever do one class of your last attempt to get back to school, or no?
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, I went for a long time. I did a whole semester. Yeah, it sucked. But I meant at the time when I left, I had this idea that I was just going to transfer credits over to some community college in Texas and finish. But as soon as I saw that I could make money being funny, I was like, well, I can either give this my focus and learn as much as I fucking can from this and try and make this happen for myself as a career, or I can like go back to school. Because, you know, they were at the apex when they brought me on. They wouldn't have brought me on otherwise. Well, now I'm not at the apex, but they were traveling. I got hired right when they came back from their European tour, which that lets you know where they were. So that just worked out. That was just serendipity, man. Because if I'd have asked them 6 months before, I don't think I would have gotten hired. You know, they might have like told me like maybe down the road, but they probably would have been more cagey about it. Like, I came to them straight up. I called TJ, that was my contact, and I was like, look, bro, said my marriage just hit Kaputski, and it was me that pulled the plug, and I'm not taking in a bunch of money out of the deal, so I don't have a job right now, and I'd like to work for you guys, doing whatever it is you need me to do, but if that's not possible, I need to know. He was like, all right, I'll get back to you. Didn't call me for like 8 hours. I sat up fucking like all night. Just like, oh my God. TJ, like, yeah, you're hired, bro. We'll pay you this, pay you that, blah, blah, blah. I was like, fuck. Okay. He said, contingent on you have to come and meet us. Like, we're doing a meetup in LA. You got to be there. I was like, bet. So I used what little bit of money that I had to book a hotel room in fucking Hollywood. And the rest is history, bro. Kind of cool. It's a neat story when you lay it out how it happened. I don't think about it much. Oh, dude, my life was kind of frantic for about 3-4 years there in a really fun but maybe not advisable way, bro. I had a little spout of second childhood. Let's just put it that way, man. I was on a roller coaster, kind of a show, and I have no kids, so I didn't have this like looming fucking responsibility hanging over me, and other than for myself. And I have a notoriously low opinion of myself, or at least I did at that time, maybe way lower than I have now. But anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. Wild. Dude, I gotta be honest with you, bro. There was so much mania during that time that it wasn't even scary for me. I gotta be honest. There was something about me during that time. And I think that if I was ever put in a high pressure situation again, or put in a situation that's unfamiliar, I think I would rise to the occasion in the same way. But I felt like I was where I needed to be at that. Dude, I felt balance. For the first time in my life, I got to be creative, and somebody sent me a check for it, bro. I was fucking like, it was like I'd found the pot of gold, right? I got a check right here. And what did I do for this check? Well, I made some thumbnails, and I titled some videos, and I released some content, and I filmed a bunch of creative, fun, dynamic, improvisational bits. And here's my money for it. Holy shit. You know what I mean? It was like heaven had opened up, and I could do anything, man. All the shit that people say about my ego now was true about me then. I was unstoppable, man. I really was. At that point in my life, I felt truly unstoppable. And of course, that never ends well, right? The unstoppable force eventually meets the unmovable object, whatever form it takes. But I don't know when I would say reality kicked in for me, like the actual reality of my situation, which isn't bad. It was just like, holy fuck, what am I doing? I'm trying to think where that I know where it happened. I know where it happened. Very personal day, but I'll talk about it in vagaries to the extent that I feel comfortable doing it. But yeah, we had a meetup in LA at a place called the Mint. And dude, it was such a cool meetup. And it was so fucking lame that their owner kicked us out because some idiot tried to bring a fucking airsoft pistol in. I was like, did they kick him out? Yeah, we kicked him out, and we stripped his gun off of him. Look. You know what I mean? So the guy got his ass kicked out the door, and then somebody puked. And the guy was like, that's it, event over. He was selling alcohol hand over fist, right? Anyway, that's just part of the story, but that trip for me, man, it was just awful. I felt so bad at the end of that because I felt like we'd done our fans dirty because they kicked us out in the street. It's in the middle of fucking LA in the middle of the night. We you know what I mean? How do you keep a group of 100? So the guys, I guess, graciously let us fucking hang out front of the bar while they cleaned up and shit. And they let us retain use of the green room in the back so we could like try and plan a little bit of something. But we gave away shirts. We, went out, took pictures with everybody, gave our apologies, and kind of dispersed the crowd. And it sucked, right? And then some shit happened. Right after that, we had planned to go to one of my favorite places in the world, right up from LA, Pismo Beach. And it was me and TJ and Chelsea and Scotty and Taylor. I don't know if Scotty and Taylor were coming to this. I think it was TJ and Chelsea and me and my ex-girlfriend. And I just had a huge, giant blowout of a fight with my ex-girlfriend before we could leave LA and head down to that, right? And it led to a crazy night that was clarifying to me in a lot of ways. I mean, because it was just like I was really, it wasn't her fault. It was that reality moment happened. And the weight of everything that was happening, everything came like crashing down on me. And I think it kind of came crashing down on my ex at the same time for different reasons. And we had this like big, huge, angry fight that turned into this like, well, the slate is fucking clean, so let's just talk it out. Put it on the table, right? And what came out of me for the first time in my life was, I'm a bisexual dude and always have been. She was like, so what? And I was like, well, you know what I mean? That's part of this. And it was. I'm not going to go into the intricacies of the whole conversation, but the point being that time in my life forced me to face the actuality of what my job was. And I don't think it ever really came back from that. Not in terms of like, I don't enjoy it, but like that fucking fantasy that I'm unstoppable, you know what I mean, has been well and truly dispensed from me. Nope. The split off from DFF or into DFF, right, was super hard. But as far as I was concerned, bro, I was a dump truck at that point. This was completely apropos of nothing, bro. It was just a really bad couple of days that culminated in just like a big kind of talk that had to happen. But it clarified things for me, and it brought me down off of this like manic fucking thing for the first time in maybe years, and forced me to face reality a little bit. And I think I needed it. I think it was a good thing that it happened, but the way that I looked at my job and what it is changed that day. Little white picket fence, traditional nuclear family just was not for you, but you tried your best. I really did, man. I mean, credit where it's due to me, I guess. I did everything I could personally to fit into that and to be happy in that. And maybe if there was a kid, that would have been it. Maybe. But if there was a kid, there'd also be a kid with divorced parents. Because I don't think a kid mends problems between people. And there were problems between us that I don't think either one of us had enough experience or time to really diagnose. In retrospect, it's easier to see these things. But, that's how it goes. I don't know, for me, a lot of people want to talk the split with me, and you guys have to understand that while I do, like, obviously I was on the show while it all went down, so I have a certain insider perspective on it, bro. I was not an owner of that show. So it's like, creative freedom I didn't feel like I was creatively denied by that show, other than, and I'll be honest, I felt like the show needed to be changed significantly, right? And I don't think I was alone, because it had become predictable and rote and stuff. Might seem familiar to anybody watching DFF now. This happens to shows. And people go back to the drawing board and they come up with a new way of doing it that refreshes things. And that's what the show needed, but there was resistance to that. And that's what I know about the creative limitations of the show, right? That's it. Well, it is what it is, bro. I don't look at it as being altogether too personal. It's shit that's in the past, and it's the truth, so. And I have no, like I said, I have no interest in fucking dredging up old bad feelings and all that type of shit. That just ain't me. It never has been. Well, the shit got a little wild for me in there. Because it got a little wild for me in there. Yeah. My status was kind of in limbo for a while. Because, well, whatever. I don't want to get into too much fucking detail because it really doesn't matter. But the point is, shit was fucking crazy at that point, but I still felt like I could do pretty much fucking anything. I felt like I could fucking reach up and, flick the moon if I wanted. Boop. Oh, absolutely. I mean, grandiose. It depends on what you call grandiose, right? DFF was meant to be the anti-DP in terms of us producing it, right? Rather than covering lolcows and the news and this, that, and the other thing, right? These kind of like segments that we'd become known for. We wanted to deep dive into certain things and use those things as a platform for us to just kind of vibe with the audience, with each other. And so it was created specifically to be something new so that we could bite our teeth into something fresh and do something, like take a different creative perspective, right? And I think that's needed in any show. If you want any kind of longevity out of a show, I think it's needed. And so, that's what you do. Anyway, phone is about to die. Stick a needle in your eye. I may go hang out in Salt Rackus, or I may do a backflip into a mattress. I don't know. We'll see.